Well. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm Phil, and I just wanted to give you some news I got today in the mail. Well, if you follow the channel, which I don't expect everybody follows the channel so much, for let me give you a history update on the channel. Channel started as kind of a I was trying to do something positive, you know. Then my wife got sick, and then it became sort of documenting how sick my wife was. Then my wife passed on. Then it sort of came like documenting how I got through that, and then it tried to be something positive again. So it's going to be keep doing something positive. But anyway, so when my wife got sick, I got on Social Security because I had to quit my job, and I got on Social Security. I think I was 62, and my wife lasted about. By the time I retired, she lasted about a month. And after she passed away, I had already made the arrangements for Social Security to be payments to be coming in. So we'd have money coming in. She had some retirement away, but no monthly retirement coming in. And we had some money in the bank. But in any case, long story short, I got the Social Security benefits coming in. And I blew through about 100 grand in our savings going to Charlestown, which is what we used to do when she was alive. And call it therapy, call it whatever you will, but anyway, I survived my grieving process, and I managed to have some wonderful people reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to keep working, if I wanted to go back to work, you know. And I knew if I didn't go back to work, I wasn't going to have no money, you know, so I went back to work. And the Social Security benefits were coming in, you know, regular. And I had heard that there was an issue with working in Social Security, you know. And I was like, you know what, I'll deal with that when it comes about. So it came about 2 years ago. I owed them $3,000. You know, I'm like, well, this is doable. And then I figured that was because I had taken a huge chunk of money out of my 401k to pay off the credit cards that I'd been making cash advances on at the track, which raised my gross for the year to a point where, you know, Social Security said, well, you know, you shouldn't be getting paid blah, 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 right? So $3,000, you know, but I was very blessed to get a wonderful job with a company doing the same trade I was doing, which is the office furniture trade. It's something I do very well. And it is a trade. You know, everybody likes to talk about, well, anyone can do that. No, anyone can't do that. It's just like when you know, everybody likes to look down on people working McDonald's and Burger King and all this kind of stuff. It's a simple job. Anyone can do it. No. Each job requires skill. Each job requires somebody who cares. You know, so Anyway, so I had to wind up paying back $3,000 last year, or year before last, to Social Security, you know, which I did, and I'm still paying on that. But I got a letter today from Social Security I never expected to get. It turns out that I made too much money all last year for them to pay me. But now get this. All the time I'm working, my job is sending them money. All the time I'm working, my job is telling them what I'm making. They can tell by the amount of money I'm sending them what I'm making. Because it's not voluntary for me. My company has to take out what the Social Security Administration says out of my paycheck for my wages. So they know what I'm making. Okay? Well, it turns out for the last year and a half, they've been paying me too much money. They've been paying me too much money. Which, you know what? It would have been nice if they would have done that, if they'd have said something the first month this happened, you know? Since they've been seeing what I've been paying, right? out of my paycheck at work. Well, I got a letter today, and it says, Phil, you received $15,727 too much benefits, and you have to pay that back by October 22nd of this year. 15 grand, $15,727 for being a working American, for working my ass off every day, for paying into Social Security every paycheck. Every paycheck I'm getting $200, $300 taken out of my paycheck. It's getting sent to them. So when they're giving me a benefit, which is like, it's been like $1,800 I think, but they take like $200 out for Medicare. So I clear like $1,500 in my bank account, you know, which I put the bills, right? But now I have to pay them back $15,727. But you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I am very grateful to God that He has blessed me with a healthy body and a healthy mind and a wonderful job. And I'm going to tell Social Security to turn it off. I'm trying not to be vile here. I want to say so many four-letter words you wouldn't believe it, but I'm trying not to be vile. Trying not to be. But I'm going to call them up sometime next week and tell them they could turn that Social Security off. And Medicare can go straight to hell. Right straight to hell. Okay? If you want to penalize me, everything that goes with this Social Security goes with a penalty. I got a friend who's on Social Security in Maryland, and they treat him just like a slave. Just like a slave. They tell him, if you go to work, we're going to take your benefits. And he's terrified because he ain't making it. He's just barely making enough to pay his bills. He's not working. I'm very blessed to be working to have my job. So they're going to get their $15,727. They'll get it back. But not before I tell them they can take Social Security, and they can take Medicare, and they can jam it where the sun don't shine. Because I'm not going to be a slave to the U.S. government. They're not going to tell me I can't work. They're not going to tell me I can't make a living. They're not going to tell me I have to make my standard of living into crap so they can give me a pittance every month. That ain't going to happen. So, anyway, I'm just telling you this because the channel is and always has been about information. And it's a small channel. It's nothing special. I'm just a working guy, an old guy who took care of his wife for 10 years as she was suffering from a stroke she had in 2012. And she was getting worse, but it was going slowly. And then after the second COVID shot, it went real fast. Real fast. And then she went on Pradaxa, and that turbocharged it. But the only reason she went on Pradaxa was because the second COVID shot supercharged her blood clots. But that's okay. There's nothing we can do about that. That's the challenge life sent us. God was very gracious to my wife in the way that He took her away from here. And I thank Him every day for it. But now here we are. Now here we are. Now I was paying off my debts. I was paying off my credit card debts. I was really doing good. And I am still going to be doing good. I'm not going to fall apart. I'm not going to fall apart. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not going to be that. I'm going to get back on my exercises, get my body strong. I'm going to go back to work and do a great job for my customers and work for my company and do a great job for them too. And if my company doesn't need me anymore, I'm going to go to work somewhere else. I'm always going to be working. Always. I have no intention of retiring. My lungs feel pretty good. My body feels pretty good. I do have to do that workout though, because I got to get my the muscle strands in my waist had to get tighter, and I have to get looser in my back, and I have to strengthen the areas where I might get a hernia, because man, the last 3 months of me just not doing my exercise has not been good. But anyway, back to the subject of the video. $15,727 coming at you, Uncle Sam. I hope you choke on it, you bastards. Oh man, life is a trip. You never know what life is going to bring you, but you know what you do know? As long as you keep God in your heart, as long as you ask God to get you through it, you're going to get through it. One way or the other, God's going to get you through it. So, I just thought I'd drop this video at you. I ain't been posting a whole lot of videos lately. I was going to do a mukbang. I was going to do some other videos, but just, it didn't work out that way. And kind of just staying at the house, chilling, trying to get my bills paid down. But, you know, I didn't expect to get this damn bill. But we'll make it. We'll do the best we can, and we'll make it. My feeling about this Social Security mess is I won't go back to Social Security until I'm 70 years old. And I might not even then. Because the way... Now, the lady I talked to at the Social Security Administration last time was wonderful. She was wonderful. And she was trying to work with me and everything. But she didn't know I was working in the way I'm working. But I'm just, it cracks me up that we have a system where I suppose, I would propose that if you're going to be penalized, why does the Social Security Administration wait a year and a half before they do this? They know what I'm making. I'm paying them every damn week. Every 2 weeks I'm paying them. They know what I make. They're going to wait a whole year and go, oh, well, we paid you too much. Well, try not to be vile. Excuse me. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you the latest update, you know. I'm just, listen, it could be a lot worse, you know. I could be, it can always be worse. I could have cancer, I could be, I could have gotten in an accident, I could have had a DWI, I could be a drug addict. Any realm of things could happen that could make it worse. And a lot of it has to do with my attitude and my staying on the straight and narrow and just trying not to be in places I'm not supposed to be at, you know? Or do things that I'm not supposed to do. So, and I'm not going to change that. But this was very interesting, you know. But this will be the last time. I'm not going to be screwed like this again. You know, screw me once, my fault. Screw me twice, really my fault. You know. So my understanding is Social Security wants me to be a slave. Until I'm, 67 or 70? I've got to be a slave to the U.S. government. You must be a slave. If we pay you, you've got to be our slave. I loved it when they said, I don't want Medicare because I got insurance at my job. They said, oh, you have to take Medicare. You have to take Part A because it's free. If you don't take Part A, we're going to stop your Social Security benefits. I went, oh, really? Okay. And then they said, well, we're going to start you paying Part B. And I'm like going, and then they said, well, you can stop that. But then the way they made it sound was it would alter the payments in a way that was kind of terrifying. And I said, look, just leave it alone for now. Just leave it alone. I'll pay for the Part B too. But I didn't expect this to happen. You know, for them to come back a whole year later and go, hey, we paid you too much money. And they gave me the 2 years of wages. They said, here's the 2 years of wages. I'm like, you saw what I made 2 years ago. You saw what I made this year. And yet you wait 2 years to come back at me at this? Are you trying not to be vile? I'm not trying to be vile. Any case, have a wonderful Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And don't worry about me. I'm going to be okay. I have faith in God. I have money in the bank. I have credit. And I have a good job right now. And I'm very grateful for that and for the wonderful people I work with. But I can tell you this. I had a friend who was asking me about, hey, what about, you're getting Social Security, right? And you're still working. I said, yeah. And he said, well, what happens when you do that? I said, well, so far I've had to pay $3,000 back, but other than that, it's been okay. Well, it ain't okay now. It ain't okay at all now. It definitely ain't okay. But you know what? We're going to get through this. We're going to make the best of this. The people that work at the Social Security Administration, the people I would talk to on the phone got nothing to do with this. They really don't. It's the people inside the organization, not the people you talk to on the phone, not the people at the desk, at the field office. Don't give them any shit. They're trying to help 10,000 people with the too few people in the office. So it's not their fault. But it just cracks me up because it made very clear to me that as long as I'm working, I can't have Social Security. And as far as Medicare goes, I'm not worried about that. I can't worry about that. I got to turn that off at the same time. So, and I had to laugh because everything comes with a penalty. When you talk to these people, they are taught to tell you, if you don't get Medicare, there's going to be a penalty. If you don't get Part D of Medicare, which is the drug part, if you don't have something for that, there's a penalty for that. If you work and you get Social Security, there's a penalty for that. I'm like, you know what? I don't live my life by penalties. I work my ass off. I work for good people. I work for a good company. I do a good job every day because that's what my mom and my dad taught me. Work your ass off. Do a good job. Make the customer happy. And make your company money. And you will make money as you do that. Do that every day and you'll have a job. Don't do that every day. You won't have a job. And also in the interim, it's easier to be honest about stuff than it is to lie. Lying is so much work because you got to remember all the lies that you told before. If you're honest, you can say this is how it is. This is how it is. If I messed up, there it is. I messed up. I apologize. I won't mess up again. So, and that's what this is. I messed up. They have laws. They have rules about this. I took them lightly. I didn't realize that I had to call them or send them a text or get a hold of them. They're the hardest people in the world to get a hold of and tell them every week, hey, I'm getting paid X, Y, Z. You need to cut my benefits back. But we ain't going to have to worry about that when I'm done with this. Because what I'm going to tell them is turn off my Social Security. Turn off my Medicare. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to be a slave to the U.S. government. I don't want that. Now, I know wonderful people who are on Social Security, and I will never call them slaves. They work their ass off, and they're in a time of their life where they need that money. So maybe this is a good thing for them. Maybe I'm one less person who's healthy, who's living off the government. Maybe I'm ripping off the government while I'm paying into it, right? While they're taking my money out of my paycheck to go into Social Security. That cracked me up every time I got the check. I said, damn, man. If I'm getting $1,500, if I'm clearing $1,500 in my bank account, I'm only clearing $1,000 because I'm paying $250 in every paycheck, at least. So, anyway, here we stand. I'm healthy. My body's healthy, my mind's healthy. I'm not bitter. I just really don't give a fuck, you know? I'm an American and I don't give a fuck, you know? I'm gonna work hard, do a good job every day, make a living, and move on from there. And God's with me, and we're gonna work this out together, and it's gonna be okay. Folks, just remember, if you're having a problem, God is right next to you. He's right next to me right now, shaking his head, saying, Phil, you're not supposed to be vile in this video. I know, Lord, I couldn't help it. But if you're having a problem, God's with you. All you gotta do is put your hand on your shoulder and go, man, Lord, I got $15,727 I gotta pay back. I need your help, sir. And we'll work it out together. But in more serious terms, if you're having a real life problem, go to God and say, look, Lord, I need some help. And he'll help you. It might not come in the way you think, but he'll help you, okay? Folks, have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful Saturday, and a wonderful Sunday. And beware the Social Security Administration and beware Medicare. If you're still working, you may want to reconsider. I'm just saying. Oh boy. You never know what life's going to bring you. You just got to get through it. I always say that. God bless you, folks.